Welcome to class, everyone. Today we will be talking about researching online because by now you've chosen a topic for your research paper, and I'm sure it's a topic, hopefully, that you're already interested in. But even you aficionado, you super fan, cannot know everything there is to know about the topic. You're going to need to turn to some outside sources. So that's what we're going to cover today. Be sure that you have your Dropbox assignment. There's a Dropbox assignment today. And I'm going to be giving you a little guided tour. So part of it I will demonstrate for you, but most of it you get to do on your own. So our objectives today. Students will be able to distinguish between reliable and unreliable sources. For example, there's just a lot of stuff on the internet. I know you guys know this, but it's overwhelming even to me, and I'm experienced. So we're going to talk about how to evaluate resources and which ones will be most useful for what you want to write right now. Successfully navigate Badgerlink. This is something that I think is important for everyone to know, and it's a new resource. You might not be familiar with it, but it basically affords you all the same research capabilities as if you went to the library, except the books. So, there's a little sacrifice there, but not much. So last time, hopefully you chose your topic of research and you also wrote down a few kind of brainstorming questions, right? If you don't know what your topic is, still do this assignment. Just pick anything and do this assignment about any topic you want, and you can change it later if you decide to. What's important for this assignment is you demonstrating to me that you know how to use the tools that we're going to talk about in class today. So doing research online can be like... quicksand! That was a clip from The Princess Bride. If you're not familiar with the movie, I recommend it. So, there is just so much to do that all of a sudden you start falling, and soon you're at the bottom of the internet, and you need someone to save you. That someone is Badgerlink. We talked a little bit about how we have a lot of different sources for what we find online. You can Google something. You can search its tags on Tumblr. You can try to find an article about it. The Huffington Post is what I chose because it's kind of... The Huffington Post is what's called a news aggregator. So most of what you read on the Huffington Post has actually been pulled from other places, and you actually don't know where it's from unless you take a little bit of a closer look. So that's why you're like, oh, cool, I saw it on the Huffington Post. That's a newspaper. No, it's not. Or even Facebook. A lot of people produce their own content on a platform like YouTube or Facebook. So what is there to trust? One of my favorite quotes about the internet, I hope you enjoy. The problem with quotes found on the internet is that they are often not true. Abraham Lincoln. Write down the answer to number 1 on your assignment. Your assignment asks you, why is the Abraham Lincoln quote, Ms. Gibson shared in class, funny? Go ahead and pause the video and answer. So, the internet was invented after Abraham Lincoln died. One of the beautiful things about the internet is we can do a mashup, right? We can combine video with images and text and audio that didn't necessarily go together in the first place. So this quote is a really good example of how the internet can be deceiving, because of course Abraham Lincoln didn't say this because the internet wasn't around. So remember, as you're evaluating your sources, to think, okay, is this professional? Is it not professional? And these are topics covered in your lesson as well, so I'm not really going to talk about them. But just because somebody has a quote with a picture, you need to check your sources. Which brings me to Badgerlink. Badgerlink is a website curated by the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction, which is a long words for education. And they pay for these resources, usually only available in libraries, to be free to Wisconsin residents. It's possible to log in with your library card, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to use the public resources available. So it's a giant catalog, almost like when you go to the library. So all you have to do is Google Badgerlink. It's the only Googling we're going to be doing in class today. And it will bring you to this website. It's badgerlink.dpi.wi.gov. And if you're the first time visitor to this site, it might give you a little tour, which I'm just going to show you right now. But it'll have little pop-ups pointing to certain things. Welcome to Badgerlink. Here's all our resources. Here's where you can browse them by format. So format is the type of print you're looking at. Is it a newspaper, encyclopedia, magazine, etc.? If you only want to search newspaper articles, boom, Badgerlink has got your back. Or if you want to browse resources by subject, so they have a list of categories there: government, health, college, business. Or by user group. You want to say, oh, I'm a high school student. Obviously, if you were an elementary school student, because I know little kids these days can do anything on a computer, they're going to show different resources to an elementary schooler versus a high schooler. It also shows you the About page, get the word out, bulletin, latest news. Whoop, it's getting off my page. So there's training. And then how to log in with the public library. Social media. It's kind of a long tour, actually. So there's an Ask a Librarian. That is actually an email thing. It's not a chat thing. And then you can retake the tour, or you can say, next. Send us feedback. Okay, thank you, end tour. So it takes just like a minute, and it briefly shows you around. What we're going to be using on Badgerlink today is the Super Search. So when you click Super Search, there are a couple interesting things on the page right away. It says search across Badgerlink resources. So this searches everything, except if you go under what am I searching, you say, oh, it doesn't access historical newspapers or international newspapers. So if you're doing a historical research paper, you might want to click this archive to search just that. The Auto Repair Reference Center, High School Britannica version. So if you need the encyclopedia, this is not going to give that to you. And they give you all these links so you can access them here instead of using the Super Search. But the Super Search is kind of like the Google of Badgerlink. And so we, right now, are going to be searching my topic for my research paper, which is... I typed it in before. Baby seals. Why baby seals, Ms. Gibson, you might ask?
I'm shaking in my custom baby seal leather boots.
Because that's one of the funniest jokes in the movie. Because it's cruel. Because Megamind. No, it's just something random I thought of. But if you want to do baby seals, you're welcome to. So this is the first thing I see when I hit enter after searching. And it's a list of all the possible resources that Badgerlink thinks I want. And you'll notice the pages down here, this list goes on for days. So you're going to need to use a little bit of discretion, a little bit of judgment in what do you really want to use or not. When you first see something on Badgerlink, the first thing that you're going to see are these important pieces of information up here. So there's a title, author, journal title, publisher, publication year, ISSN. Those are numbers used to identify records in the library. I am going to make you copy and paste this information into your assignment, so just in case anyone ever needed to look it up again and they didn't have the internet, they would still be able to. The next part of what shows up as a brief record of each of these resources is a description. And usually it's a short little summary of what's happening in that article. And these are really useful because then you can decide, do I want to click into this article or this resource and take a closer look at it, or is it not really useful? For example, I Googled baby seals. Sorry, I Badgerlinked baby seals. And the first response it gave to me, let me move up out of the way, says the article focuses on skin problems in women and offers solutions for it. Topics include red blotches on skin. Is this related to baby seals? No. Search engines make mistakes, so I'm not going to use this one. This one, let's see. Here's our information so I can locate it later. Let's look at the description. This article reviews several books in the Cute and Cuddly Baby Animals series by Kate Kawa. Probably not what I want. I don't want a book review, right? I want an article about baby seals. Title: Baby seals do not want to swim in icy waters. Thank you very much. Oh, this looks good. Okay, so it's by Time. Time is a magazine. It's weekly or bi-weekly, I believe. Description: This article discusses an internet video from 2013 which reportedly shows a wild seal that is loudly protesting against the researchers from the National Science Foundation Seal Science Project who are trying to teach it to swim in the cold waters of the Arctic Ocean. It's about a baby seal. Does it really tell me a lot about seals? Maybe not, but you know, I'm kind of a sucker for a video about a baby seal, so I'm going to click it. So what you do is you can click this icon right next to it. And this will give you the full search result. It might take a minute or two to load, like you can see on mine. So it says, here's the title, author, source, abstract. An abstract is a fancy name for a description. But I'm scrolling down trying to find the article. Here it is. It's like 4 lines. Not a good source for my research paper, right? Sometimes you can click and try to find other resources, but when I click on these links, nothing happens. So this isn't a good resource for me. So I'm going to hit back to search results. I think that was, here we go, the third one. Let's keep scrolling, see if there's anything. Oh, this looks like a book about baby animals. Probably not what I want in my research paper. Oh Baby provides tips for baby skincare. Not what I need. I had no idea baby seals are so tough to research. Harp seals, the hunt for balance. This article focuses on harp seals. Harp seals appear to be, well, okay, that's okay, but it's not about baby seals. Caring for harbor seals? Oh, maybe. Seals and walruses. This looks great. I can see there's a picture there. It says seals and walruses, mighty mammals, description. Okay, it looks like it's a book, so I'm not sure I'll be able to see it, but I'm going to give it a click. Let it load. Load, baby, load. So here's the description that we saw on the main page, and then if I scroll down, for this one, the book is actually here. The information from the text has been imported into the database, which is really cool and something that didn't happen when I was in high school. So sometimes they'll have the resources from the book right there. So this one does look like it talks about sea lions and mammals. Maybe this would be a good resource for my paper. So what I need to do is, okay, so first of all, I'm going to scroll back up to the top and see the title, publication date, and resource name. In between where it says back to search results and then my actual record, you want to copy that and put it into your homework assignment in source details. So that way I can look this up in a real library, a physical library if I wanted to. Now I had to make my page a little bit bigger to see this. So be sure you have a full page. And if you scroll down on the side, there's this thing called Permalink. And if you click it, it will pop up this little box that you can copy and paste. And this will allow you to come back to this resource any time. You don't have to log into Badgerlink. You just have to click that link and you can come back to that article. So I want you to copy, remember, the source details, which are right up here. And then go over to the side and scroll down and hit Permalink. That's important. That allows me to be able to check on your resources. Then I want you to copy the description, or it might be called the abstract. I'm going to copy. And this is just you. I know we talked about not plagiarizing. You gathering resources isn't the same as taking other people's work and saying, look, this is my work. This is the personal database for you to remember. So after you copy and paste the abstract, then you'll be able to type in your document, why do you think that this source might be a good source for your research paper? So I say, I think it might be important for me to discuss other mammals who are kind of like seals to show how beautiful and unique seals are, because obviously the resource I picked was about seals and walruses. So that's what I want you to do for 4 more sources. Go ahead and type your thing into the super search and Badger search, and if you don't remember how to do it, watch the video again. And then there are 4 more rows for you to do. When you copy and paste it, if the table goes a little bit wonky, that's okay. I know how to reformat a table in a Word doc. So for your assignment, answer question 1, remember the quote about Abraham Lincoln, and then list 4 possible sources for your paper. You need the information, which allows someone to look it up again. I remember in my paper, it was up here. Let me scroll over here. So you can find that right here, title, publication date, and resource name. Perfect. Then I also want you to put in the permalink, the abstract or the description, and then your own thoughts about why could this possibly be a good research source for you. I don't want you to in-depth read every source because you don't have time for that right now. You're just looking to see, okay, what might be good. It's kind of like when you're hungry and you go to the kitchen, you have to take a look at the refrigerator first and be like, okay, well, what are my options here? That's what you're doing. You're perusing. Our objectives for class today, students will be able to distinguish between reliable and unreliable sources. And we talked about that a little bit with Badgerlink as well. Sometimes there are going to be sources that show up that aren't actually about your topic. And then successfully navigate Badgerlink. After you finish watching the video, come back to class and let me check the first row of your worksheet, your assignment, so I know that you're able to do it right. Then you can complete the rest of it on your own. Thanks so much. Have a great day.